Right now, you're probably wearing clothes that match what you saw online this morning, and you don't even realize someone engineered that choice. Every major decision you've made today has been nudged by invisible social forces working in the background. So why is your brain so vulnerable to what other people want? Fact 1: The Spotlight Effect. Psychologist Thomas Gilovich discovered in the 1980s that we massively overestimate how much other people notice our appearance, mistakes, or embarrassing moments. You feel like everyone's staring at your bad haircut, but most people barely registered it. This happens because we're trapped inside our own heads, and our mistakes feel huge to us. Understanding this reshapes how you interact in social situations. Once you realize nobody's judging as harshly as you fear, you become bolder, more authentic, and way less anxious around others. Fact 2: The Backfire Effect. When you directly contradict someone's deeply held belief with facts, they don't shift their view, they double down. Researchers like Brendan Nyhan and Jason Reifler documented this across political, health, and safety beliefs. Your brain treats opposing evidence as a threat, so it actually strengthens your original conviction instead of weakening it. This is brutal when trying to influence anyone. Aggressive facts often fail. Recognizing this changes how you debate, persuade friends, or change minds. Subtle reframing beats head-on contradiction every single time. Fact 3: The Mere Exposure Effect. Psychologist Robert Zajac proved that the more times you see something, a face, a song, a brand logo, the more you like it, even without conscious awareness. Advertisers weaponize this ruthlessly. Repeated exposure to a product makes you feel attachment to it, not because it's objectively better, but because familiarity breeds comfort. Your brain mistakes "I've seen this before" for "this is good." This explains why you can't escape jingles from ads you hate, and why your favorite influencer's product starts looking genuinely appealing after their fifth mention. Fact 4: The Illusion of Transparency. You believe your intentions, emotions, and inner thoughts are more obvious to others than they actually are, and simultaneously, you overestimate how well you understand what others are thinking. Psychologists including Thomas Gilovich documented this asymmetric blind spot. You think your sarcasm is crystal clear, but it lands as genuine rudeness. You assume your crush knows you're interested when you've barely signaled anything. This creates cascading social misunderstandings that people then influence to their advantage by filling in blanks with their own narratives, letting them steer conversations you thought you were controlling. Fact 5: The False Consensus Effect. You assume that most people share your beliefs, values, and behaviors more than they actually do. If you like indie music, you overestimate how many others do too. If you're introverted, you think introversion is the norm. Lee Ross and Constance Stillinger found this bias operates across every demographic and belief system. Influencers and social media exploit this mercilessly. They show you a curated minority acting like a majority, and your brain accepts it. Understanding this inoculates you against falling for manufactured trends and recognizing when you're being sold a false "everyone's doing this" narrative. Fact 6: Scarcity and Urgency Principle. Limited availability triggers primal fear of missing out, and scarcity itself makes things seem more valuable, independent of actual quality. Retailers use "only 3 left in stock" and "sale ends tonight" to bypass rational thinking. Robert Cialdini documented how scarcity taps into loss aversion. We feel the pain of losing something more intensely than the pleasure of gaining it. This is why limited edition creates frenzy and flash sales work. Recognizing this tactic in the wild marketing language designed to bypass your prefrontal cortex gives you permission to pause and actually evaluate whether you want something or you're just panicking. Fact 7: The Contrast Effect. You judge things not in absolute terms, but relative to what you've just seen. Show someone an ugly sweater first, then a mediocre one, as suddenly that mediocre sweater looks decent. Psychologists have documented this across pricing, attractiveness, personality, and effort perception. Retailers strategically position products. The premium option suddenly looks like great value next to the ultra-premium. Dating profiles use this: post a bad photo first, then a good one, and the good one lands harder. Understanding contrast lets you strip away the manipulation and evaluate things on their own merit instead of being yanked around by strategic sequencing. Fact 8: Emotional Contagion. Your emotions aren't private, they spread to people around you like a virus, often without words or intention. When you're anxious, people nearby absorb that anxiety. When you're energized, others catch the energy. Researchers including psychologist Elaine Hatfield found this happens through unconscious mimicry of facial expressions, tone, and body language. This is why charismatic people dominate rooms. Their emotional state is so contagious, others follow. This matters because it means you're not immune to emotional manipulation in crowds, rallies, or viral content. Your brain syncs with the mood around you before logic even boots up. Fact 9, the Pratfall effect. When someone makes a minor mistake or shows vulnerability, they become more likable and trustworthy, not less. Psychologist Elliot Aronson discovered this counterintuitive principle. Perfection is intimidating, but relatable flaws are magnetic. This is why celebrities who admit struggles gain devoted followings, why slightly awkward social media confessions outperform polished posts. Influencers leverage this by authentically admitting failures they've actually carefully curated. Knowing this helps you spot when vulnerability is genuine versus weaponized for influence, and it also frees you to be less perfect yourself, because your small failures actually make you more persuasive. Fact 10, in-group bias and the minimal group paradigm. You favor people in your group even when the group is assigned randomly and meaningless. Henri Tajfel's groundbreaking minimal group paradigm showed that arbitrarily dividing people into groups, by coin flip, favorite color, or random number, instantly creates tribal loyalty and discrimination against outgroups. This is why sports fans hate opposing teams irrationally, why online communities become hostile to outsiders, and why political identity calcifies into us versus them. Social influencers and movements exploit this by creating artificial in-groups where the enlightened ones or real fans do X, triggering your tribal instincts. Recognizing this bias is your shield against being weaponized by group identity. Which of these hit you hardest? Drop a comment about a time you realized you'd fallen for one of these influence traps without even knowing it. And if your brain feels hijacked right now, that's the point. Subscribe so you can see these invisible forces coming before they pull you around.